And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
I have a dream. My poor little children one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their
Don't
character.
tell me words don't matter. I have a dream. Just words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Just words. Just speeches. Don't tell me words don't matter.
All the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all sight shall see it.
I'd like to talk about this awesome book. It's part of the classic literature collection. It's called The Count of Monte Cristo. It's written by Alexander Dumas. It's set in the 19th century when Napoleon was banished from France. The story begins with a young man sailor named Edmond Dante. He, after his captain died, departed on his journey for his final wishes to Naples to deliver a letter. And during that time, he also received another letter, which somebody should have came for. He soon landed in Marseilles, France, where he lived. He talked to the company owner, Morel, and he soon became captain. He left right away to talk to his father and see how he was. Sadly, he did not have money for food. So because of his promotion, he gave all his money to his father and repaid their neighbor who had paid for the rent. Then he departs once again to his fiancée, Mercedes, whatever, and to find her with another guy named Ferdinand. Ferdinand has been trying to woo and try to get Mercedes to marry him. That didn't work out yet. And the next day they have an engagement party for their marriage. Sadly, Ferdinand, the cargo ship holder, Dangler, and his neighbor are not too fond of his recent rise into status. So they set up a plan to frame Edmund for treason. They're writing their left hand so nobody could know who wrote it. And they tell the government that Edmund is holding the letter which states that Napoleon is coming back. The officers find the letter, get Edmund, and send him to a judge named Belfort. Belfort finds the letter, reads it, to find out it was for his father, who's betraying the country. That's not that great. So he uses that letter to gain status with the king. And Edmund, sucks for him, goes to jail. During that time in jail, he meets an abbé, or a church person, and he teaches Edmund everything he knows. Languages, math, science, and tells him of a great fortune hidden on an island called Monte Cristo, thus the name. And sadly, the abbé dies, and he is put in a sack. Edmund finds his way, cuts the bag, goes inside the bag with the dead body, disgusting, and the graveyard for the prison is throwing them into the sea. So before he drowns, luckily he cuts the bag and swims to shore. He finds his way to Monte Cristo, finds the treasure, and sets out for revenge for, backstabbing. He soon finds Dangler, Belfort, and his Ferdinand with great status from war, bank, and so on, and sets out for his vengeance. With him, he brings a princess, Grecian, with him named Heidi. He gains gained status from Ferdinand, with his son Albert, which he rescued from a bandit. From Belfort, he saves his wife and son. And for Dangler, he opens an account in his bank with limited amount so he could spend as much money as he can. Thus sets the vengeance plot. With the help of Heidi, Ferdinand is exposed for his army status. Yes, he betrayed Heidi and her family and sent her to be a slave. And Heidi vouches for Monte Cristo, and Ferdinand is shamed. And Albert and Mercedes go to live in Marcellus once again. Dangler loses all his money. He's broke poor. Yes, Monte Cristo misinformed him of the money, and he has no money to his name. Belfort found out that his wife was poisoning his entire family. Yes, she's crazy. So she could obtain the money from her great-grandparents. That would have gone to Belfort's daughter. Because of this, Belfort tells her, basically, go kill yourself. So, guess what? She does. And her son. And sadly, Belfort was judging a trial from this kid named Bendito. Bendito turns out to be his bastard child. And he is accused of this and found guilty, so goes home, both his family's dead, he got nothing, he kills himself. So they're all dead. And he found Morel is dead now, but his family has taken over the business, and Monte Cristo gives them a buttload of cash and it helps them get what they want. And at the end, Monte Cristo goes away with Heidi, and they live happily ever after, with everybody dead.
All right.